Stream status bad. Lovely. I think I'm live. Is it working? Yes, it is. Wonderful. It's very bright. I don't know if anyone will join this morning because it's very early in the morning on a Sunday. But regardless of that, I will talk anyway because I just wanted to do my July update. Yeah, so oh, we've got one person joining. Hello, hello, hello. I've got to remember how to do a live stream. I haven't done one in a couple of weeks. Who's that? Who's joined? 2 people. Hello. Hi, George. Hello, hello. You'll have to excuse my voice. I can't speak very loudly because my voice is awful. Bad throat. Too much talking this week. What are you all up to this morning? I know it's very early in Mexico. It's what, 9 a.m. in Mexico? But 10 a.m. in Montreal, and I've got lots to do today, so I need to be on the ball. Hi, Martha. How's it going? Martha always joins the live stream. Wonderful. Also, I'm talking quietly because I think my housemates are still asleep. Yeah, Martha. Hello, hello. Wonderful. And Sandra. People are joining. Hola. Buenos dias. I miss Oxo. If I was in Mexico, I would be getting a hot dog and some tostitos and some boing from Oxo right now. Lila, is it Lila or Lila? Sorry. Hi, Jerry. How's it going? So people are joining. Lovely. So yes. So as I said, I think just before people were joining, so I normally do like a bit of an update every month. So I did a May update in Querétaro, June update in, I don't remember where I was when I did that one, and probably Zacatecas, I think. Hi, Zoltan. I'm good. How are you? Apart from my throat, I'm meant to be filming a video today, but it could be sign language if I lose my voice. And so this is the July update, and it's just a case of what's going on, where am I going? There's because I've got a huge, well, not, it's not a huge announcement, but it's just an update in terms of where I'm going. We've got 13 people now. Wonderful. Yes. Hi, Silvana. Is I forgot your name. Danielle, is she with you? Are you both there today? Yes, it's a bit of a weird time. I don't normally do live streams at this time. So, firstly, I'll go into the travel plans bits in a bit. But in case you haven't seen, I uploaded the top 10 places to go in Mexico video last night. There was some shockers in there. There were some shockers in there. Rocio, that's a good name. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I really liked your Mexico top 10. Many already in my bucket list. Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about right now. Good timing. Yes, if you haven't seen it, go over there. Make sure you do a like and a comment because in case anyone doesn't know, the only reason some YouTube videos blow up in terms of views is because they get a lot of likes and a lot of comments, so it shows interaction with the video. So even if you dislike, 3 people have disliked it already. Obviously, people that like Puerto Vallarta. That wasn't on the list. Danielle is out today. OMG, what is she doing? And hi, Kyle from Beijing. Awesome. I remember when I was in Beijing, or more accurately, in the airport and didn't get allowed into China. Yeah, so if you haven't seen that video, have a look at that one. Also watch the Montreal videos because a lot of people, I just wanted to highlight something. I have had some people say, oh, I would rather watch Mexico videos. I know that is the case. And Erin talked about this in one of her videos as well. This is a travel channel. It's not just about Mexico. And actually, there is a lot of Mexico conversation in those videos. And you might be surprised that there are possibly... So I've done 3. I've uploaded 2 from Montreal. The 3rd one is waiting to be edited. I'm filming the 4th today. The 5th, 6th and 7th are going to have something to do with Mexico in them, including 2 people potentially that are Mexican. Yeah, so just because I'm not in Mexico anymore doesn't mean there won't be any Mexico related stuff. FYI. So I will be, every country I go to over the next few months, I'll be hunting Mexican food, proper Mexican food, because I cannot live without tacos, con chorizo, etc. Yes, so just to clarify that. And in terms of what, I'm going to come back to the chat in a minute. So right now, Montreal, I'm here for another week. There are still, like I said, 4 more videos to upload. There might only be 3. Paris, I'm going there next Saturday. I'm staying in a hostel I'm only there for 2 days. Well, 3 nights, 2 days. Then I'll be in London for, I think it's 4 nights. I've got an Airbnb in Hackney. Anyone who knows London will know that Hackney is a bit like, well, it used to be like Tepito in Mexico City. It used to be a rough area, but it's not so bad now. And I'll probably be doing 3 videos in London, but they'll be to do with like places, like I'm thinking Hackney, Brixton and Camden, places that are slightly more up and coming. I won't be going anywhere near Buckingham Palace or Harry Potter or whatever. No one wants to see that. But yeah, let me know what you want to see from London videos and Paris videos. I'm probably only going to do 1 video in Paris. It'll be like a big one. Yeah, then I'm going to Belgrade on the 21st of July. So just a couple of weeks. Serbia. I'm doing a series of videos, or maybe just a couple, with... we've got a Montreal person on. It's good to have someone from Montreal, not just from Mexico. I don't mean just Mexico, but it's nice to have someone from somewhere else. And San Luis, how's it going? Tacos de chorizo. Yes. So what was I going to say? So yeah, Belgrade. I'm doing a video series with My Heritage, the DNA people. So you might remember I did a DNA test in January, I think it was, and it turned out that I was 31% Balkan. So I've always wanted to go to a Balkan country. Everyone's saying bonjour, bonjour. I don't know any French. I do know some other French, but not a lot. Don't ask me to speak French. My Spanish is much better than my French, that's for sure. Then I'm going to be in Istanbul for 2 weeks, Turkey, until mid-August, which I said about before, so I won't go into detail with that. Visa's all sorted. Probably about 3 or 4 videos from Istanbul. My voice has gone like Barry White. Kyle, you speak Chinese. Fantastic. I have some English students from Shanghai, Hong Kong, Taipei. Yes, so I'm familiar with many of the struggles that Chinese speakers can face with English. Yes, so that is the plan up for the next few weeks. It's going to be quite hectic. So in terms of uploading videos, I might end up like a couple of weeks behind, because I'm obviously teaching English still, except in Paris, because I'll be in a hostel, so I can't teach English in a hostel, and it's just a matter of finding time to do them. But they will be up as and when I can get them done. If you want to keep up to date with like real time what's going on, just follow me on Instagram, because that's always bang up to date. Oh god, lemon and honey and lemon for my throat. Yeah, I might have to do that. Definitely. Cool. Are you going to visit your hometown? Kind of. So it's a bit like, if you're from Koyakan and you say, oh, I'm going to Mexico City, my hometown. You could be anywhere in Mexico City. It's a bit like that with London. I won't be going to exactly where I'm from, because that's the other side of London, and I just won't have time to do that. You never know, but it's unlikely. So probably 3 places in London that are slightly more up and coming. Well, I mean, Camden already has up and comed. You know what I mean. And these areas, Hackney and Brixton, are kind of what was I going to say? Areas that used to be quite rough, but well, they had a reputation for being rough, like when I was a kid, but definitely now they're much more desirable. So yeah, London for a couple of days. The main reason I'm going back there, well, two reasons. Because it's cheaper for me to fly to Paris from Montreal. So I thought, well, I'm in Paris, I might as well pop back to London, even if it's just for a couple of days. Purely for food. It's probably the first time I've ever said it in 3 years. I miss some food in the UK. And in those videos, I'm going to try and put one thing in each video that's like a traditional British dish, but not stuff like, fish and chips, because it's a stereotype. Whereas in real life, people do eat fish and chips, but it's not. I don't eat, when I'm in the UK, I don't eat fish and chips every day of the week, or drink tea. I never drink tea. So I'm going to include some food that, if you're not from the UK, you might not be aware of. Yes, Silvana, do I have time in between Paris and London for a stop to Belgium or the Netherlands? Unfortunately not. So I live, but in the future I will be there. So I will be in Paris on the 13th. I get there for a couple of days. On the 17th I go to London. 21st Belgrade. So it's all very quick over that week. But I need to come to the Netherlands at some point. Rotterdam is on my list. Ricardo's here. Hello, Ricardo. Ricardo, still in Montreal. Yes. Don't forget, Ricardo, as I said this morning, don't forget to watch the Montreal videos, because there is a lot of mention about Mexico in them and comparison and things. And if you didn't catch it earlier, well, not the next one, because I've already filmed that, but the ones after that, there will be... basically, there's two Mexican guys, who have contacted me like a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to meet up with them this week, hopefully. So there will be videos, and there will also be hunting down good Mexican food video in Montreal, because surprisingly I found walking past places, I found some places, and what else? Some people have recommended some places, but they're not, they're like the Taco Bell kind of places and hard shell tacos. Hard shell tacos? No way. They look relatively authentic. There's tacos al pastor and things like that. Flour tortillas. So hopefully, yes, there will be some Mexico stuff coming up, even though I'm not in Mexico. Just to clarify. Oh yes, Ricardo, I remember you now. Yes, you lived up. Is it in the north? I can't remember. Yes. But there is something else I have to mention as well. So Ricardo, don't worry. There'll be plenty of Mexico stuff coming up. That will always be a theme, like an undercurrent, if you know what I mean, ongoing theme. Ricardo, that's what I had to ask you. I can't remember if it was you. It might have been someone else, but someone mentioned in a comment about the fact that in the north of Montreal, there's a lot of, I don't want to use the word slums, but a lot of immigration problems, and it's very dirty and all that sort of stuff. I thought it'd be a good area to go to for a video. I don't know. Yes. So return to the other thing in terms of July update. There's been some developments over the last couple of days, I can't remember. Okay, not true unless has changed. Cool. Okay. In that case, I won't do it. Maybe it was someone that was bitter about something and they were just slagging off Montreal. I don't know. So returning to Mexico. So it was going to be the middle of middle of October. And I did mention this on what did I mention it on? My Instagram stories a couple of days ago. So it's looking like now that I will be returning to Mexico closer to Christmas. So I was planning on being there Dia de los Muertos. However, this is the shock destination. So the middle of... right, let me start again. So the 1,000th day of travel, so day 1,000 since I left the UK 3 years ago, is on August the 18th. So I wanted to go somewhere I have a history with, You know, there's places like Japan, obviously Mexico, but I've just been there, and plenty of other places that I want to go back to like celebrate the 1,000 days. So a country that I have been to 3 times since starting this channel is Indonesia. So I'm going back to Indonesia from Istanbul in the middle of August. So I'm going to be in Bali, then we'll be elsewhere. Obviously with Bali, for anyone that knows, as a UK citizen, I can only be in Bali. I think it's 29 days, I can't remember. And then I have to leave and go back, or I can do the visa on arrival and then pay extra to get longer. But realistically, I'm probably just going to leave Bali and go back. Yeah, and there is something else happening when I get to Bali, but I'm not going to tell you that. There's a big change coming, at least for a short period. Yeah, so while I'm in Indonesia, I will possibly be traveling a bit in Indonesia and also elsewhere in Asia for a couple of months. And the reason why Mexico has been possibly delayed a little bit, it still might be October, I don't know, is because of cost of flights. Obviously from Istanbul to Asia, expensive. Getting from Asia back to Mexico, also expensive. So I might need some time in Asia just to make some money again, if you know what I mean. Because there is a flight back from Taiwan to Mexico City that's probably the cheapest I could find, but you know, it's still expensive getting 2 big flights like that in the space of a couple of months. So I might just need a bit more time to recover my finances again and come back to Mexico for Christmas. So that's the backup plan. So either one of them could happen. It just depends. You know, if one video does really well coming up and I make loads of money from it, which never happens, then it could be different. I could come back earlier. We'll see what happens. But will be definitely be back in Mexico before Christmas. Christmas definitely 110%. But I'm just not sure about Dia de los Muertos. We'll see what happens. Let me get back to the chat. Chapincito 514. Welcome to Montreal. Are you in Montreal? Yeah, Montreal is very cosmopolitan. Yeah, I think I said that in one video. It's very much like London. It's so much diversity. Who is Erica Medina? Is that a viewer? I remember that. I can't remember. Kyle, what inspired you to travel so much? Oh, you're a new subscriber. Awesome. God, I don't know. I think it's because I started traveling a lot when my first trip was 2001. So how many years ago was that? 18 years ago. I did the typical Thailand, Australia trip, you know, the backpacker trip. And it just went from there really. And one thing I don't think I've ever really wanted to do is be in one place. I've never wanted that whole thing about having a family and settling down and a normal job. So travel kind of goes with it, and just the feeling you get when you go somewhere new and it really excites you. That's pretty much it. And also, and in the beginning, I said about the fact that you don't necessarily have to live that life that people expect of you, like studying, going to work, having a family, buying a house. I did all that, but I didn't like it, so I sold everything. You know, I had a flat, I had a job for 18 years. I worked for the same company. And it's funny because a lot of people always say to me, oh, one day you'll want to settle down and buy a house and have a family. I've done it already. Well, apart from the family bit. So I've come out of the other side of that. Yeah. Okay. And Martha, why do you like to, well, sorry, I can't even read. Sorry. Where do you like to spend Dia de los Muertos? There are places in Michoacan. Yes. That has been on my list. For literally a million years. There's a guy, DJ, who comments on every video who keeps telling me to go there. And Morelia, yeah? That's probably one of the most recommended places So yeah, if I am back in Mexico for then, probably Morelia, I think, will be an option, or I would say CDMX, but I was there last year for Dia de los Muertos, and it just seemed it was cool, but it was just a bit commercial, I think, with the parade, you know, the James Bond parade, and the whole thing in the Zocalo with the fireworks. It was great, and seeing the president time in the distance. But I'd like to, if I am back for then, I would like to. I just sorted the light out. I would go to somewhere else that's slightly different. Yeah, Dia de los Muertos. I can be back for then. I will just have to look at money. Yeah, because let's think for a moment. So August, September. It's 2 months in Asia, and I could be back. I will have to look at my finances, but it could be either at the moment. Either Dia de los Muertos or Christmas back in Mexico. Awesome. Thank you, Silvana, for the €5. What's it called? Super chat. That's going to really help with my food video that I'm doing probably on Wednesday. I think I'm going to try and go to as many places in Montreal as possible. Not Mexican, other food. So T-Rex poutine, quiches. I know that's more French than Quebec. And where else? There's an Eggs Benedict place, bagels, and it's really good because I was looking on the map last night actually, and all of those places are relatively close around Plateau area. The places that I've got planned anyway. The thing with food, you know, that's one thing that I'm being recommended so much with Montreal. I only have a small stomach, and I don't have an endless supply of money. So things like that really help going towards, you know, that's going to be a bagel sorted. Thanks, Silvana. And also Patreon. So you see about Patreon, and you know that really helps funding these videos because you know it's not free. I don't get freebies. I have to pay like everyone else. You know, I'm not I'm not this influencer person that gets free. If I was blonde and had boobs, I probably would. Ricardo, fly over through UK. You know what? That's a good point. I was looking at that as another option. So if I'm in Singapore, I can use Scoot Airlines to get to Berlin quite cheaply. So that's a possible option. But then obviously I have to get from the UK to Mexico. They're going to be roughly about the same cost overall going both ways. But it depends where I end up in Asia later this year. But it's going to be so good to return to Asia. It's been like 2 years of Asia. Asia in general kind of has the same feeling for me as Mexico does in many ways, because I've got a lot of memories from there, from like the beginning, like the last couple of years. You're a bloody nomad. You live a life that we don't dare to lead, but anyone can do it. I'm nothing special, you know. You just have to apply yourself and get your finger out. This is a good idiom. It took me a long time to actually make that move because I never felt like I was ready, but it got to a point in my life where I thought, that's it, it's the right time. So you do, I think, have to wait for the right time to do it if you are going to do it. Chapincito, yes, I'm in Montreal. Like I said, I do, but there are some things I don't like, which have been highlighted in comments to other videos, and I'm going to mention. So today I'm filming a video which will be the 4th one. Remember, I haven't edited the 3rd one yet, so it'll be a bit late. There are some things that I'm going to talk about in that video that Montreal residents have mentioned. It's not necessarily things that I've seen, but I'm starting to see them now that I've been here for a few weeks. Okay, Ricardo. That place in Veracruz. Oh, a nice pueblito. The only reason I want to go to Veracruz is so I can pronounce the word Veracruz. It's beautiful, but I can't pronounce that place beginning with T. Sorry, man. Oh, Rubens. Oh God, have we got another? I've got to go to. This is what talk about in the third video, the amount of recommendations, and it's very daunting and it puts a lot of pressure on me because I think, oh God, I've got to go to all these places, but I can't afford it and I haven't got enough time. So I have to be selective in terms of my selections, in terms of where I go. Christo, have I been to Quebec City? Or, sorry, should I say Quebec or Quebec? I watched a video from a Canadian who told me you can say both in the video, but then I've had people telling me that it's Quebec, not Quebec. So clear it up. Quebec. Hi Dave, how's it going? See, I said it that way that you just typed in the last video that I uploaded, because in the first one I said Quebec, which is how I would normally say it. Yes, so it's changing. Sorry, Christopher, have you been to Quebec City? I've done it in Quebec City, the only walled city north of Mexico, UNESCO listed. Yes, I heard it was the only walled city. No, not yet. And I don't know if I'm going to get time. I probably won't. Because Montreal is expensive. And obviously I've got France and London coming up. And I need to think about my bank balance, so I could go there again in the future when I'm. I mean, I'm not disastrous with money, but yeah, you'll see that in the next video when I refuse to pay for the botanical garden. I'm not paying $20 to get into a garden, so that was the clanger in that video. Yeah, day trip. Yeah, I was going to do a day trip. But I looked at buses and trains. It's just too expensive, and I'm exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. So probably I would get there and fall asleep. But who knows? Who knows? You never know. That I might be able to. I'll have a look at it again this week. Because I only have Wednesday and Thursday available. Because Monday, Tuesday lessons. Yeah, 4 hours away. I thought it was 2 hours, or is it 4 hours there and back? I don't know if I can travel for that long and in the same day. Okay, 2 and 2. Okay, 2 there, 2 back. That's more manageable. But it depends on cost, because I've got this food video to do. That's going to be expensive. The Notre Dame light show in the evening, that's $25. It all adds up. Oh, did someone say about cars? Yes. And I read, and someone told me about like car sharing, but I don't really like people, so I'm not sure if I can do that. But we'll see, because like I said before, I'm meeting 2 people this week from Mexico in Montreal, probably on Wednesday and Thursday, which are my 2 free days. Yeah, Friday working, Saturday I fly to Paris, so probably next time. Oh, Dave, did you just say car rental? I have an international license and a UK license, but I don't have a credit card, so that is always the clanger when it comes to renting a car. I don't rent a car in Canada with just a debit card. That's always the problem. Sorry, I'm going to go back on the chat. I've got to go out soon because I've got videos to film, I've got lessons to plan, I need a coffee, urgent. Right, sorry, how is my visa going to Russia? Is it very difficult to have it? First question, it's not going. And secondly, yes, it's difficult. I posted on this on Instagram the other day, on Instagram stories. As a UK citizen, I need a visa to enter Russia, as most people do. The only way I can get it, there's 2 ways. I have to do it in London. No, Dave, don't worry about Russia. I'm not going. But just in case anyone wants to know, as a UK citizen, there's 2 ways I can get a visa for Russia. I can use like an agency, so I could do it in Mexico City and just take all my passport and that there to the Russian embassy. But it's expensive. When I researched it a few months ago, it was like $300 US. I'm not going to pay that much for a visa. That's insane. The other way to do it is go to the UK, where I'm from. There's 2 places in the UK where you can get the visa, tourist visa. or a transit visa for 3 days in London. But again, it cost £180 or dollars, I can't remember, and can take up to 20 days. So as well as having to pay for the visa, I will have to pay to stay in London for like 3 weeks, which is expensive. I'm not going to pay. I honestly don't know that many people in London that are friends. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to stay anywhere in London probably. Oh, so you have 1 second. Russia is a nightmare. Yeah, the other way is a transit visa, but that's the same cost as a normal visa, which is insane. Some people have told me that there is effectively no border between Belarus and Russia, and you can just go into Russia. But apparently, that's from my research. That's changed over the last couple of years. They check your passport, whereas previously they didn't. And the other way is to go through to get the boat from Helsinki. You can do like a cruise. It's quite cheap. It's like $25, I think. You don't need a visa for it. However, you can only go to St. Petersburg for 72 hours on an organised tour, which I'm not going to do that. So all in all, Russia is not going to happen until 2021, because apparently they're introducing a e-visa, which I read about a few weeks ago. But on the flip side, yeah, Belarus could be an option. That's visa free for 30 days. I could enter Estonia, Latvia, and what's the other one? Lithuania, visa free as well. It's only really Russia that's the problem. Georgia, yes, that has been on my list, but because I'm now going to Indonesia, I will be scrapping that for now and doing that in the future. Yeah, maybe next year. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Tbilisi. I had some friends that did some videos there. But as you know, as Erin said this as well in a video, I'm conscious of doing videos in other places because, you know, people have said, "Oh, I'm not going to watch them because they're not about Mexico." It drives me crazy. And you know, right with Belgrade, I think, you know, should I bother going there? Because no one's going to watch them because it's not about Mexico. But no, it's also about me. I want to go to Belgrade because I want to discover my heritage. Let me get back to the chat. Sorry, there's like a truck outside. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, so Russia's a bit of a nightmare. Martha, what is Martha saying? I love it when you walk around the city. I never know what we can find. Yeah, normally I know either. Because I purposely don't research. Well, I do, but not extensively. And sometimes things just come up. And I think, oh, that's cool. Let's put that in the video. So yeah, work visa expensive. Yeah, $260. So that's for a year. But then again, someone said this to me yesterday in a lesson from Moscow. He said he can't understand why people from the UK, the US, Canada would want to go to Russia to work because of the lower salary. I was looking at some teaching jobs last week. There's no way I would do it. I can earn 3 times, well, more than that, doing my talkie. It's crazy. 2 years ago, I paid £100 for my UK visa. Cool. £100, that's crazy. For once, time zones don't suck. Oh yes, indeed, we're a bit closer. Matthew Tasker, yes, we're a bit closer now. 1 hour, but as of next Saturday, we'll be on the same time zone because I'll be in Paris. It'll be. I'm not sure if it's going to be good to be back in France because I don't always get on with French people. Awesome. Yeah, Moscow is amazing. I have to go. I think I'll probably wait until 2021 if there's an e-visa because I'm not going to do all that whole kerfuffle of hanging about in London. James, how's it going? Are you having a coffee this morning? You're always drinking coffee, watching videos. Blah blah blah. I'll be great to see your other videos. Are you having iced mocha in CA? Oh, as in Canada. Yes, but not currently now because I need to go to Starbucks. But I'm not sure if I will because the place I want to film videos is the other direction. I haven't got time, but we'll see. Yeah, Matthew, Pakistan. I was also looking at Pakistan because isn't it right that I've got plenty of friends from Pakistan, from the UK, that are relatives in Pakistan, so I could probably get a invitation letter quite easily. You were offered a job at 140,000 rubles. Oh, okay, that's good. That's a decent amount. Was that in Moscow or was that elsewhere? Because I think the ones I was looking at the ones I were looking at. I can't even speak anymore. I was looking at, yeah. It was something like $200 a month. I would not get out of bed for that. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's a good amount. Maybe I should move. What's happened? We've lost David's stream. What do you mean, Matthew? Can everyone else see me? My connection is still on. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there definitely does seem to be a massive difference between Moscow and everywhere else. I can't remember the name of this place. Oh, who knows? Who knows? But okay, I'm going to finish soon because I need to go out. But let's just look at some of the things. Okay, VIP Kid, Kyle. Yes, I've heard of that. I did a video about that a long, long time ago. I can't use VIP Kid because I don't have an American accent. So they only accept American or I think Canadian as well accents. I don't teach children. I do not like children. I would not have the patience. I'm not the kind of person to, I'm not la 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 la. Hello, children. I'm not like a children's TV presenter. No way. When I was in Colombia last year, there was a guy from the States who was working with VIP Kid. I used to hear him through the wall, and to drive me crazy. And every lesson was the same. It was the same plan, the same structure, the same thing. Him acting. It was just so disingenuous. I would never do it with someone like with VIP Kid. Also, Kyle, I don't know. You might be able to fill me in with this, given that you're Chinese. But with italki, I've only ever had probably about 5 Chinese students. Let's say it's 5. 4 of those messaged me for a lesson, didn't turn up for the lesson, and didn't respond to any messages at all. The last one had a few lessons, but then disappeared and has not. I don't know where she is. She could be in another dimension for all I know. But the communication is awful. So I refuse to take any students from China at all, which might come as a surprise because everyone thinks with online teaching that it's all about China, but no, it's all about Russia. Russia is the place where you can gain so many students. But yeah, Kyle, let me know what you think about that. I don't know. Obviously, I'm generalising. I know not everyone is like that, but no surprise. That sums it up fantastically in 2 words. And with I've got some people in Hong Kong. I've got from Taiwan as well. Fantastic, no problem. I know that there could be an issue with connecting to Skype, VPNs and all that. But still, it's not that difficult to send a message on italki. They can still access italki because it's a Chinese website. Insane. Global adventurer. How's Mexico City today? I just took a break from washing clothes. Classic. Oh shit, I need to do that today. I just remembered. I need to buy washing detergent powder and wash them in the shower because I don't have a thing. Okay. Some people are saying it's not stable. Is it because of the VPN or because just of the connection? I don't know. Yeah, you would have lived like a king in Moscow. Completely. Absolute king. You don't teach niños horrible. definitely not. No way. That's hilarious. Matthew Tasker has always been curious about Russia. I can't even speak today. Russia, especially because there's a direct train from Nice to Moscow, so I could go from my flat to South Korea by land. Indeed, you could. But how long will it take you to get a visa? Do you have a French passport as well? It's just so expensive, and you know, having to have an invitation letter, like details of where you're staying on particular dates and transport details and all that. I ain't got time for that. For Christ's sake. Yeah, so could you get a Russian visa in France, like through an agency? I guess you could, or you'd have to go to the UK if you're on a British passport. Because I've got friends in Australia, they were looking at doing it, but when they found that they could only do it in London because they're British passport, they said screw that. Yeah, so just to recap, go to Paris. See, what a hassle, you know. So the British Embassy in Paris you'd have to go to, and I'm guessing it would cost a lot more. Because when I was in Mexico, I couldn't just go to the British Embassy in Mexico. I had to use like an agency and send all my stuff. Oh, of course, yeah, Russian Embassy. Russian Embassy, yes. I see. So it's different from the UK, because in the UK, the embassies don't deal with it. They outsourced it to like a different company. Silvana, I have friends in Moscow. So thank you very much. But I have many, because of my English students, in terms of getting an invitation letter, I wouldn't have a problem, because pretty much all of them have said, oh yeah, we'll write an invitation letter, no problem. We'll pretend you're coming to stay with me. But yeah, I'll take you up on that if I have any problem. But it's not going to be for another 2 years. Until there's an e-visa for Russia, I'm not going to even bother. So just to recap, July update. Oh, hang on, let me just do Matthew Tasker first. See, everywhere I've read that you do have to use a tour. Oh, way away, yeah, but they're American. They can get away with anything. Basically, I think they booked a tour and but then they just didn't go on it, or they stayed somewhere else. Someone told me that. I didn't watch the video. But 3 days, really. St. Petersburg, I would rather, if I was going to go to Russia, I would rather go elsewhere as well. Natalie McKay is on. How's it going? She's doing lots of travelling this year. So just, I'm going to go literally in 1 minute, because I need to go out. So just to recap, July update. Matthew, I'm going to be July update any second now. It was just a shuttle bus to the city centre oh, I see. Yeah. But knowing me, I would not be allowed into Russia because I've got a British passport. Yeah. I can't believe Russia has come up so much. Yeah, I can't even get into Canada without being interviewed by 3 different people and having my bag searched. So I don't hold out much hope for Russia. Maybe I just look dodgy. So yeah, finally, the July update. So I am in Montreal for 1 more week. Paris for 2-3 days. London for 4 days. Belgrade for 2 weeks. Istanbul for 2 weeks. That will take me up to August the 18th. Then I'm flying direct to Bali with Turkish Airlines, Matthew Tasker. I looked at many other options, for example, going to Berlin and using Scoot to Singapore and then another flight. But it would just, everything together would add up to the same cost basically as the direct flight. Plus would take about 1 million years longer. Yes. One sec. What do you mean, not direct? Explain. It's Istanbul, Bali direct. But is it? Do you mean it's like far out of the city or something? I don't know. I don't ever get your jokes. Yeah, so I will be in Bali until I don't know when. Possibly September, October, who knows? But obviously I'll have to leave because of visa runs and everything. I'm not going to do the longer visa because there's too much. Yes. October. What? So you might be in Bali in October? Is that right? That'll be epic because I might be there because I almost let slip then, but I am going to use it as a base in a way for a few months. So thinking of Hong Kong, Vietnam, Laos, whatever it's called, and some other places. So yeah, Matthew, Istanbul, or not Turkish Airlines. That's it, direct from the two. I was thinking of going to like Kuala Lumpur and then getting AirAsia from there, or like I said, scoot from Berlin to Singapore and then an AirAsia. But every option I've looked at, I did like a plan. There was like 4 different plans on my notepad on my phone. The one of the other ones, I think the going to Berlin and the scoot was £50 cheaper than the direct flight, but it was like 3 times the time, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to spend 45 hours flying again like I did when I went from Thailand to Mexico. That was awful. Yes. Yeah, I'll be drinking a lot of plonk. So I will be in the brand new Istanbul airport, open this year. Awesome. If you even care. Probably don't. But I need to see what... I haven't booked it yet, but I will be booking it very soon. I still need to book Belgrade and Istanbul. But that's definitely happening because I paid for the visa and I'm meeting another YouTuber in Istanbul at that time. So I really need to do stuff. I've got lessons to plan, I've got coffee to drink, and I need to film a video and also sleep, and hopefully my throat doesn't explode. So on that note, watch the Mexico top 10 video if you haven't watched it, and also the Montreal ones, because weirdly loads of people watched the first one. It must have been awful because they didn't watch the next one. But that is life. If it's not about Mexico, no one's going to watch. I'm joking. Okay. For Christ's sake, please get yourself a frequent flyer account, add it to your Turkish Airlines booking. How is that going to help me? I don't know. But I'm not a frequent flyer, that's the thing. This year, how many flights have I got this year? 1? No, 2. Well, if you include back and forth from Acapulco. 4 flights I've got this year. That's all I've got this year. I'm not a frequent flyer, and it's July. Yeah, it's just I can't be bothered. It doesn't matter. Always earn at every opportunity. I need to watch your video again about points. There was something you said in that. Or something you told me about Avios or something. Like the Aeromexico thing. Right, remind me, this week I've got to do it. I've got to do something with this frequent flyer thing. Because potentially I will be flying a lot over the next few months. Oh, why did Matthew Tasker's message come up as hidden? I think it's got because it's got video in it. Yeah, I will watch that video again. I've already seen it once, but I obviously wasn't taking notes. But you know what? That's the thing. If I, not that I'm rich or I've got loads of money, because I have to work every month still. If it's within my budget and I can still live okay, and like I think you said in that video about prioritizing travel and making it the most important thing. If a £20 flight from wherever to wherever in Asia, it's within budget, so I'm not too bothered about saving a load of money with points or whatever. But obviously, when it comes to 2 massive flights from Istanbul to Bali and then Taipei back to Mexico City, that's going to be a lot of money. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Right, I'm going to go. Thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you to Silvana for the what's it called? I forgot the super chat. That's it. Always forgetting the name. And I will see you later in the week. There'll be probably 1 or 2 Montreal videos this week before I head off to Paris. Adios, everyone. Laters, potatoes. See you later. Wouldn't want to be ya, or whatever it is. How do I stop this? I can't remember. Bye, Silvana. Bye, Kyle. Thanks for joining.